So there we have it then, Hayden Paddon, ERC champion, and I honestly can't believe that's happened in the way that it has as well. So let's talk about the Barum Rally in Zlín, and let's have a little bit of a talk about the different stories that have come up. I think, firstly, let's just talk about the champion and how the championship was won, because, well, I don't think we were really expecting that, were we? We weren't expecting to see that Paddon would win the championship after having retired. With only a couple of tests left to go, the right rear of his Hyundai being ripped off. Well done to him for keeping it clean throughout the event until that mistake. And he was running, what, 4th? And not really pushing. This is a guy who was never really seen as a tarmac ace. Remember when Hyundai had their third car rotating in the 2017 era, and the drivers were the likes of, well, if we think about 2018, for example, it was Neville and Mickelson full-time and Sauter and Paddon sharing that third car. It was always Sauter in the tarmac events. Yet Paddon's managed to be relatively there or thereabouts. This is the first time he's not finished in the top 2, isn't it, this season? So it's just mightily impressive what he's been able to do. What's also fascinating is seeing the Euro Oil team, the Ford Focus 2006 WRC, driven by Bakar Petch Jr., taking the overall rally win by 9 seconds. Of course, it doesn't count towards the ERC, it just counts to the Barum Rally, and what that means is the record book's going to look a bit funny. But what it means in terms of like the ERC or the top flight is not only has Kopecky now got his 11th win, is it something ridiculous like his 8th in a row, isn't it? He's also continued a winning streak for Skoda that goes even further, I believe. But it's just fantastic to see that he's still able to show up and just boss this event. I think he passed 100 stage wins in the event, and considering this is an event that's usually 10 to, what was it this year, 13 stages, it's spectacular to see how dominant this guy's been for one event. Sure, it's his home event, but it's not as like hometown hero Eric Seiss, who had the issues early on, got himself, was a puncher that basically ended his event. And yeah, it's just such a wonderful event to see. It's good to see it's been renewed on the ELC calendar. It's been renewed for another 2 years. But part of me, I would love to see it on the WRC stage sometime. I know we're going to have the Central European Rally in a couple of months' time, but I'd love to see the Zlín stages being run as a WRC event. Stage like Semetan. I mean, I know it's one of those ones that anybody who's played Richard Burns Rally will probably know very well. But I'd love to see those Rally 1 hybrid cars going through there. But another thing to say again, this proves yet again why the ERC is a series that you have to follow, why it's been such a good thing that WRC promoters picked it up and put it on the package with it all live. Because we weren't really getting it for Eurosport. Eurosport were alright, but it was behind even more of a paywall and with limited coverage. This is fantastic. And hopefully WRC promoter can do this with other regional series. I'd love to be following like the MERC or Codasud. Because it would be fantastic to see this kind of coverage going for any of these series. Really put so much more into the rallying package. But I haven't even talked about some of the other stories from it. Whilst Kopecky and Lisek are the top step of the podium, there weren't any other Czech crews on the podium, even though there was 2 other Skodas. It was a Rally 2 Evo of Nikos Shamos and Victor Bunn, and then it was Simon Wagner and Gerald Winter, the Austrians, in 3rd place. Then it was Brezek, and Brezek, I believe, I saw an article from Dervish saying that his old boss, who had told him to get faster and ended up helping towards that 4th place, is now over the Roman Cresta. which is another name that's a blast from the past. If you've been following rallying for as long as I have, over 20 years, it's a real blast from the past name there, Roman Cresta. But yeah, this is one where it came down to a lot with the drivers. Like, you look at the top in the ERC, it's Michelin, Pirelli, Michelin, Michelin, Pirelli, Hankook, Michelin, MRF, Michelin, Pirelli, MRF. There's no real difference in any of it. Yeah, a penny for the Forte Martin Tescs. He's done well this year, the guy has. And especially his performances out in Mikołajki and Lipaia, those were really good performances by him. He should be in some kind of contention for a title. But realistically, we need to see him on WRC stages, and with the Pirelli exclusive tyre tender, I doubt MRF would back that. But he's somebody we need to see on them. I mean, Paddon's obviously made the case that he needs more top flight outings. In WRC2, he was dominant in his home round last season, and remember, he went up against quite a big pack. Like, I know people are putting SVG as this next kind of Sebastian Loeb in terms of the abilities he has, but he went up against Kajsa Katanovic and he managed to beat him fair and square, and he's managed to beat him on the WRC events and the ERC events. So hopefully Hyundai will give him a call at some point. He deserves it. So well done to Hayden Paddon and John Kennard. I remember when Kennard said he was retiring from competing in rallying. That was what, 2017? 2018? And here he is, European champion, 2023. Well done to them. They're very worthy champions. And yeah, hopefully we'll see more of them out on the stages again soon. And yeah, John Kennard, at 64 years old, European Rally Champion. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.